Damn.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Vicky. If you're new here, a huge hello and thank you for coming, and if you're a subscriber, many thanks for coming and spending some time with me again. This is Mum Life Journals, and if you're new, this is where we unbox things to do with stationery, pens, washi tapes, a lot of subscription and sticker kits for journaling and planning, and book unboxings and things like that. I love reading, so I do unbox quite a few books on here too. Today is they all seem to come at once, which is understandable because it's the end of the month. So today is the unboxing of the Graceful Muse Paperie. This should be for July. Oh, very pretty. Look. This is going to make it even harder. It was bad enough if I opened the 2 Harriet Wright Designs kits that were stunning, and then I got the Rosy Life Planner kit, which was also stunning, and now this is even worse because this is all beautiful and summery too. This is totally the vibe I need. It's the summery vibe. Sorry, I'm just getting some paper. And I've got it in bucket loads, which is not a bad thing, but it is when you're trying to make a decision about which kit to use. And only being in one planner, I'm not using this anymore. Not because I didn't love it and it wasn't wonderful, because it was. And I am actually missing it. I may go back into it. But instead I'm just using pen and kind of Tombow Crayola kind of business in my little Kimball weeks, because I didn't want to worry about it having to be neat or feeling like it needed to be neat. I did really enjoy this. I may go back to it. Making me want to go back to it. Anyway, I'm not in that at the minute. I'm in my Kimball weeks. I have my really basic rings, which is here, which is my little work planner with my schedules and things in, and my notes. It's just easier for work. And I am in my A5, and the reason I don't want to really go back into that is because at the minute with my new job, I am struggling just to keep up with my A5. It is full on. It is so much information being thrown at us in such a small space of time, and I'm not even having time to journal afterwards. I'm so tired, I just can't. So what I'm doing is coming in at the end of a week and just doing a kind of brief week overview. So it's not really kind of conducive to proper planning at the moment. But let's get into this. I've just realised you can see, excuse my wine. It is my wedding anniversary today. And I am on my own because my hubby works away. So I have decided, after a very long day of mashing my brain, so forgive me, with training at work, I've decided to have myself my own glass of wine to celebrate my anniversary by myself. So I'm going to celebrate with you guys. Cheers. I shall celebrate with you guys instead. So let's have a look at this kit. So we have the vellum as always. Bring you down. It says, "Hello July, summer, among the gentle lapping of waves, even the busiest mind finds stillness." Wow, do I need this month. Very pretty. We'll do the paper first. Now, ooh, just like kind of pastel-y watercolour-y scene on the reverse, but look at this paper. I love that for a cover. I love that it's not always vellum as well. I do like vellum, but if you've got a coloured planner cover, that doesn't always work. Loving the gold detail. I wouldn't know which I wanted on the front though. That'd be gorgeous, wouldn't it? Very probably about A5 about there. But then look at that as well. Ooh, look, that's definitely going to be a cover. Let's see what you get in the actual kit. So keep checking, make sure you're not out of shot. I'm sorry if you can hear all the banging and stuff. The kids are driving me mad. But there you go. So this is the thank you card. It is quite a heavy cardstock actually, and it's so pretty. And you get this thank you card regardless of what you order. It's not specific to the subscription box. So this is a really, really nice thing to get, because you could just laminate it. You could just use it as a dashboard. It's so nice. So it just says Graceful Muse Paperie there. Excuse me. Like seashells on the shore, we are all shaped by the tides of life, each with our own unique beauty. Love the sentiment, love the card and the aesthetic. It's just so pretty, and that's the thank you card. Then, okay, so the kit is called Tranquil Shores. This is the freebie. How pretty is that freebie? And you've got some torn edges and some little elements, and that's just so pretty. I'm loving this colour. Really pretty. This is the July calendar sticker. I get this on washi paper, guys, so it's quite hard to show you, but it is foiled and it is really pretty. So we have journaling kit A and B. Am I too close now? Yes. So in these we have this beautiful washi here. You've got this lovely, I mean, look at this scene. Look at that scene. And you've got like a stamp. You've got the girl, this beautiful washi. You've got these two little Polaroid ones. Another piece of washi. And on this side, you've got some beautiful scenes. Love the hammock. Love the hammock. Can you see the gold foiling? These some little smaller edges here. A nice beautiful corner. Sorry, I'm trying to get them closer so you can actually see them, but I'm bringing them too close. So, and there's the foiling. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Well, I do know what's wrong with me. I'm so brain mashed, it's unreal. So these are the floral and torn washi strips. So you've got the header type ones here, all really delicately foiled. You've got the torn washi. You've got the icon washi with the beautiful shells on, gilded shells, and then the more kiss cut edge washi on there. Then we have illustrations number 1 and illustrations number 2. Bring these a bit closer for you. They're just really quite detailed and really, really pretty. And I mean, what I love about this kit is you could use it in something this size, you could use it in B6, you could use it in A5. There's just elements to use in everything, so it's so nice. This is more washi strips. So we've got these, this is like the back of the paper that she's given us this time, with the beautiful florals on the top. Then you've got this kind of more abstract with like a flower in the background. You've got the shell detail on these thinner strips again, and then this really, really pretty with like a text in the background washi there. I feel very, very zoomed in today, but I am trying to just show you them closer up. You've got the large illustrations. We have 2 smaller edge pieces here and here, and these are your larger scenes. Like a beautiful cafe by the sea, and then you've got this gorgeous shoreline. It definitely doesn't look like somewhere in the UK. We've got the floral deco pieces, so you have corners and then the smaller elements as well as some of the edges. Really, really pretty. And then you have the wonderful functional. This has chapter 7, Hello July, lots of Julys for labelling kind of your weeklies or something. You've got your date dots. You've got 4 weeks worth of day covers this month, and then you've got your functionals down here. It's all gilded in foil, gold foil, and you've got like this month, twice, 2 birthdays, 2 goals, 4 to-dos and 2 priorities. Sorry, can you even see that? And that's what it looks like. So that's a really, really nice kit again for July. I honestly don't know what I'm going to use now. I think every time I open one, I think I want to use this one. I like this and I love the cover. So I'm thinking maybe I just stick with this kit, but I really want to use the Harriet Wright designs. I think out of all of them, I really love the Rosy Life Planner one, but because I'm going into July, I really, really do want beachy theme. I'm quite lucky that, you know, July and August, I definitely wanted a beachy theme. So if I use this for July and maybe use the August Harriet Wright one, and then this Hello Summer one that I absolutely adored from Harriet Wright as well is beachy too. But I'm actually going away for our first time abroad on our own without the kids in September. So I'm thinking I can use this in September. Oh, but there's that July one too. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. I haven't made a decision. We're in the last week of June. I need to make a decision. It's too much. And I think this is one of the reasons what I was talking about in an earlier video about streamlining what kits I have, because it's now I'm down to pretty much one journal. It's getting really, really hard, and it's beautiful that I've got all this choice, but at the same time it's getting too much to try and decide which one I want to use, and I've got too many. Like this month I had this one, these 2, this one, and I've still got, well, I wasn't going to do like a Battle of the Brits type video, but one of them is only coming in August, and I'm hoping to have made a decision. But I keep saying this, how long have I been saying this for, about which ones to get rid of, and then I ordered another one to have a look at, which isn't here yet. So I honestly, I don't know. Every time I think, ooh, so I've had one where I thought, I didn't really love that as much, of the Rosy Life Planner, which was a purple one, and that's just because I'm not a purple person. I've had a couple of these where I thought they were too samey, and I nearly cancelled, and I'm so glad I didn't, because this is beautiful. And I've had only a couple of Harriet Wright ones where, again, I've gone, it's very samey in the theme, I don't really like it. But then she pulls it out of the bag with these and this, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. I can't choose. I know it's a very first world problem, you know. Ooh, which stickers should I keep? It's very ridiculous when you think about it like that. But I need to do something, and I will have I do have big FOMO, and I don't know. But I do know that this is ridiculous. I can't possibly use all these in a month. I know that's August. I can't use these in a month, especially when I'm trying to keep to one planner. I can use them for other months, of course, but a lot of them are for the month, so it would roll over into next year. I'm going to have so many kits that are coming out my eyeballs, and I really don't need to keep spending money on kits that I don't need to have, because I can't possibly use them all. So I need to be sensible about it. That's easier said than done, and I cannot choose. Please, if you've got any kind of advice or thoughts on any of this, please drop me a line, because I honestly don't know what to do. I did love this, and I was getting to use 2 kits then. I was using a Harriet Wright Designs kit for a whole month, and daily, weekly, everything set up in here. And then I was using another kit in my A5, which was brilliant. But I am liking not feeling like I have to be messy, and I didn't need to be, I'm already not writing in my A5, so being repetitive and writing in my daily in here is too much, which is why I'm using my Kimball Week, which is just my monthly, which I don't use, my weekly view, and I don't have dailies really, I just have notes pages. And I could use this like that because there's so much space, but realistically I'm not going to do that. So I'm not sure what to do. I don't know. I may go back into this just instead of my Kimball one, so I can use some more of my kits that I'm loving. But then it'll annoy me that I stopped this in April and I've got 2 months not in here. That will really irritate me, and I really don't want to back plan. I should just carry on from where I am, shouldn't I? And then if it flicks over into another year, it flicks over into another year, I suppose. Which it can't because of the monthlies. Oh, well, it could do, because I haven't used May and June. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not in the right brain space to kind of think this through at the minute. I did love this size though, and I was actually thinking of, do I go for this size or maybe a TN size and just use that next year, because this was working. Well, I couldn't put photos in here, and I do like tipping in photos and things like that, but I don't know if I've got it to hand. I have also bought, actually, oh, and I've already set it up. I didn't set it up with my best stickers because I wasn't sure if I would like it. Let me see if I've got it to hand. I do. So this is my Kimball Weeks that I've been using, and it is literally just pen. And I'm not worrying about how neat it is, how tidy it is, or anything. So that is kind of working. That's replaced this. This, I've even took it out the planner cover and everything. The last time I wrote in it was, look, this week. I did another one there, the 16th to the 18th. I'm just not on the Friday the 20th. I've not written in it, and we're now on the 25th. So I've fallen off the wagon since I've started my new job because I'm just so busy and my brain can't compute. So I want to get back into this. But I did buy a B6 to try that. I have set up in an earlier video because I couldn't wait, as July. This is really pretty, but this is one of the kits that I was none too fussed about. So I thought if I put it in here, and I hate this size, and I'm not really losing anything, because I'm not precious about this kit. Now I've got an abundance of July kits, so that's crazy. But this is another July kit that needed using, and I've set up a little bit of the daily, and I've set up one of the weeks. And I've set up the monthly, which is pretty, and I'm already not writing in this, which I'm trying to keep going, but I want to duplicate into this because I want to see if next year the B6 would be a better size. I really would like to have tried. I've never tried a TN, and see. I'm not sure whether a TN or a B6 would be better as the one book to rule them all than an A5, only because I very rarely use all the space, but I do like tipping in cards and photos and things like that, and I'm worried I wouldn't have the space. But when I look about the space on here, it isn't actually neither of them like are giving much away. This is a little bit taller, this is a little bit wider. When you look at the size difference between a B6 and an A5, it isn't actually that much difference. It's literally like, I'd say, couple of, well, where's my ruler? Couple of centimetres here and like a couple of centimetres at the top. So, and that's probably, oh, it's there. That's probably, oh, less than 2 centimetres, like 1.5 centimetres shorter on the width and just under 2.5 centimetres on the height, which is probably perfect, but I won't know till I try it, which is why I bought this on a stash website. I've never heard of Night Owl by Owl Paper. There's nothing wrong with it. I would not have picked this colour, but I'm not hating it now I've got it. It seems like a quite floppy but sturdy cover. I'm not mad about this planner actually. You've got your index, you've got your monthlies, which are nicely dated, small, not kind of in your face, enough space on the side. Then you've got your weeklies, which are set out like this, which is the only kind of size of timeline I need. I don't work past 9 o'clock. I'm not normally out past 9 o'clock. And it starts at 5 a.m, which is, I'm never going to be up at that time. So it either gives me lots and lots of space for trackers or notes or just deco like I've done here, because I don't really use my weekly page like that at the moment. And then the dailies are just plain with a number, a tiny little number in the corner. And you've got enough for 320 pages. Does it start at 0 though? I don't think it does. No, it starts at page 88. So you don't have a page a day, but I'm not using a page a day at the minute anyway. So I'm going to enjoy trying that. So I need to stick up with these. And then it's whether I have something really cheap and inexpensive for writing notes and to-dos. I don't need to keep to-do lists. I don't need to keep them. I don't need to keep where my shifts are. And all I was doing with this is writing to-do lists and things like that, which was lovely. And this was working really, really well. And actually this was working really well, but I didn't have the space for photos and things. But then I was duplicating it into there, and I'm not doing it 3 times, guys. I'm just not. So I'm going to leave that one. And I want to see if a B6 would work. I 100% would still... I'm missing the Hobonichi's cover. This planner has been wonderful apart from the cover. I hate the cover, if I'm being completely honest. I don't like how the binding is doing this. This is my A5 full year Rosy Life planner. I hate the spine on it. I hate that the cover constantly does this because it's thin. I love that the Hobonichi is a little bit thicker. I would 100% have gone with this again, but it's already driving me mad when it's not staying how I want it to stay. And that's part of the reason it's out of its cover at the moment, is because it just keeps sliding around and just not bending how I want it to. It does bend back on itself now. It's getting a little bit chunky. It does fully flex back, so you've got a flat space. So I can't say anything about it from that point of view, but I don't know that I'd go with this again. I think I'll see if Linda changes it, because I do love the layout and I love that it is lightly dated in here, and that's not really working for me at the minute. It's so faint though. If you hate Hobonichi, this is really unintrusive on the side rather than the colour. They are numbered but really, really small at the bottom. But the way I'm using it, I'm still blanking it out and writing my own dates in. So I think I would go for something that was completely undated. I'm not sure if she does one. a completely undated one. I was even just sticking them over like that, and that wasn't overly bothering me because it's so faint you can't really see it when you've got it like that. I was just literally sticking it over. But I'd rather not have it dated at all. Now I'm starting to use it in a different way, and I'm using it like this and just writing what I need to write in it. So I would go for a completely undated one. Now, whether that is something like this Night Owl by Owl Paper. This is what I think I want at the back. I know Sterling Ink do ones like that. So I might look at one of those. Not entirely sure yet, but I need to trial the size if nothing else. A Kimball Weeks for the amount of notes pages, and it is exactly the same as a Hobonichi Weeks inside. This was a bargain, and I'm not gonna lie, it does exactly the same function as a Weeks, and it's got pretty covers. Feels really nice, really good quality. I wouldn't buy a Weeks again. I haven't noticed it being any different to the couple of Weeks I've had. It's exactly the same, functions the same, feels the same quality. Happy days. Much cheaper. So I think I will have a quick scruff, jot down to-do list, throw it in my bag, not bothered if it gets dinged up, shove my shifts in if they change, plan on next year. And I want to be in one book, whether that be a B6 or an A5, I'm unsure, which is why I'm doing half a year of this guy to trial the size. And I'm going to try and duplicate and keep the whole book in 1 year. I want the whole book in 1 year. Last year was a little bit different. I did stick with Hobonichi, but I had the Avec. Now, whether that helped somewhat, because I felt like I was starting a new planner in July, and you get that fresh planner feeling, and if something isn't working, you can kind of change up the aesthetic and things like that and just start afresh. But I was craving trying having everything in 1 year. I was used to having 2 books anyway, because my bullet journals never lasted. I went through at least 2 a year. I could squeeze everything into 2, but I've never had 1 full book. Now this is already quite chunky, and I've not written in it every day, and I am only halfway through the year, so this is going to be some chunk, which I don't mind, but it is going to get more and more difficult to write in. So, I mean, it's already so flexed. And I'm just putting more and more stickers in. But I want to keep it in one place. I will do it. I am going to have a whole year. And then, again, it just helps with decisions. It's going to help with, is a full year what I want? Do I need something that's half and half? Do I want it in a B6, or do I want it in an A5? This was actually a 2024 one. I didn't really realise, but I'm not bothered because I'm redating it. I mean, that's not even dated. And this is fine because I can just stick her over and redate, which is what I've done. And the monthly didn't bother me because, again, I just stuck stickers over and redated. So, not sad that it's a 2024 one. It didn't really cause me much bother. But I would highly recommend doing this. If you're not sure about a size, don't keep wasting money, guys. I see so many people going, oh, I'm going to try B6. I'm going to try TN. I'm going to try Weeks. I'm going to try A5. Just get an old one. Just get one that's old that people are selling cheap. Redate it and give it a try. You're just trying the size. Every sticker kit now comes with, virtually every sticker kit comes with day covers, date covers. And failing that, just use some Tipp-Ex or whiteout, whatever you want to call it. Tipp-Ex it out and redate it. It doesn't take much. Even on the little calendars, if you didn't have stickers, something like this, The days of the week are not going to change, and these are so small. You can even put the little coloured dots over and write the bloody date over the top. Don't be wasting money. Same with the weeks. Just because it's in Hobonichi. I know people are like very, oh, Hobonichi till I die. Why? Hobonichi hasn't done very well with their paper this year. This paper is so smooth. I don't think it's Sanzen paper, but it's definitely feels Tomoe River paper. I think it is. I think it's a different kind of version of it. I can't remember. I know when I did my review, I reviewed it. You've got your schedule at the back, your gift list, you've got your 21 days plan, you've got your favourites list. It's just a really neat little journal. There is a pocket as well. Look, see, I spilt some tea on it. It didn't make me cry because a bit of grease or something there as well. Because it was so cheap. More tea. And then you've got your calendars at the front. So again, even if you're not sure, if you don't want, and you definitely want a week's, but you're not sure, get something cheap like that you can try first. I don't believe, I've got to the point from going from when I started out, like any little booklet to try, and then I got sucked in and I started out with Cheap and Cheerful bullet journals from Amazon, and then I went to Dingbats, which was lovely. I loved it. And then it spiraled and it turned into, I wanted the Archer and Olive, and I was being too influenced by people online. Had to have the Archer and Olive stuff, I had to have the Archer and Olive stamps, I had to have the Archer and Olive special pens and all that. Well, no, I didn't. And like I said in previous videos, I needed something that actually had some form of dates in so I could pre-plan. It was frustrating that I had to go forward and set up months in advance if I wanted to, and if I wasn't in a creative or artistic mood, it didn't work for me because I couldn't even think about what kind of layout I might want that week or that month or whatever. So I moved to planners, and again I got sucked in. I didn't know what sort of planner to go for. Watching all the videos, everyone raving about Hobonichi, and my first planner was a Hobonichi, and it cost a lot of money when I didn't know that I wanted to use it. This was a fair few years ago now, and they wasn't really, Sterling Ink wasn't out. I'd never heard of Rosie Life Planner, and she definitely didn't have planners out because these only came out last year. So it was Hobonichi. And I researched, and it was Hobonichi, and I ordered, and I got half a year in avec. The following year, because I loved it, I got a full year avec. And then this year, because I'm getting a bit braver, I thought, no, I can do this in another brand. I don't need to get Hobonichi anymore, which is when I tried the Rosie Life Planner. And that's because the layout, I got rid of most of the things that I hated about Hobonichi. I hated the colours. I hated that the whole page was blue in November, and the top stood out so much, and I liked that these were more faint. I liked that these had like planning areas for like spring and Q1 and Q2 things in the front. It seemed to fix a lot of the problems that I mean, I hated the monthlies in the Hobonichi, but I didn't need to spend the money on the Hobonichi. This was expensive enough. But and then, like I said, last year I found Kimball, and I think they're doing A5 and B6 and stuff now as well, but they do a layout I didn't like. I did try actually the A6, which does look very, very similar to the Hobonichi A6. My daughter has it now, because again, I bought her a Hobonichi A6 around the same time. She was bullet journaling like me, then she started going through all her exams and just couldn't keep up with it, same as me. So I bought her a Hobonichi A6, which she loved, and it was a nice size for her to take away on holiday and keep up to date with what was happening and things like that. So instead of her, she was like, I can't afford mum to buy one of those this year, so I bought her a Kimball A6, I don't think she's really used it, but again, she's just really busy with her A-level exams. But yeah, I mean, this was my replacement for the weeks. This is like a weeks mega. This is a Rosy Life Planner, horizontal compact. And this is amazing. And again, I've loved this journal. This has just worked for me. A little bit of problem with the binding again, but this is only the second year, so I can only say it's going to improve. But yeah, don't be suckered into it has to be Archer and Olive, it has to be, you know, a Hobonichi. There's nothing wrong with this. I mean, like I said before, if I'd have had the choice, I didn't have the choice, it was destashed. I probably wouldn't have picked this very bright cerise, not cerise, it's very, very orange. On its own, it looks okay. But it's a 2024 B6. It's laid out how I wanted to try. I don't need to have to spend a fortune on something to see. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using this for this year as a proper journal, just because it's 2024. What I'm saying is, lots and lots of people are like, oh, this isn't working for me. I'll go into rings. Fine, rings is easier to kind of pull things in and out of. But, oh, I must have a weeks. And then people end up with like 3 or 4 weeks that they've never used. Why? Why do you keep buying them if they're not working? Buy something similar that's cheaper and see if the size works. Buy something that's not ridiculously priced, you know. Buy a destashed journal and see if the size suits you. You know, give it a chance by redating it and stuff. Don't go ahead and buy loads and loads of stuff and wasting money, basically. Big preach after I've just gone on about how many subscriptions I've got. But again, I got them to try and then can't flip and decide which ones to get rid of. But I have to do it. There's enjoying your hobby, and this is a hobby. I do love the prettiness. I do love the creativity of it. I am living vicariously of my younger self by having all the stickers and using all the stickers rather than just hoarding the stickers. But again, I've had to make some big decisions. That I had to cancel my Coffee Monsters Co subscription. I stopped using that aesthetic in my planning in my last year's avec. It's not that I dislike Coffee Monsters Co. I love it. I've got loads of emoji stickers. I love Helen's work. I just started wanting to be more floral and whimsical, and I'm just loving this right now. So right now this works, but rather than keep Coffee Monsters Co going just because it was difficult to get on the waiting list, cancel it, you know. I'm going to have to do the same with my subscriptions. I haven't come to a decision on that just yet, but we are in July now, so I am 100%. I want you guys to hold me to it. I am 100% going to, by the end of July, when I've got these other kits coming in, make a decision on that. I have to. I want to start saving for the things like, you know, things for the house and like a holiday and things like that. But regarding my, what is this? What do they call it? Techo Kayagi. Cheap work planner. Next year, pen only. Scribble, scribble. Bit of highlighter. Not overly precious about what it looks like. It just is. And I love that. And then one of these guys. Either an A5 or a B6. And I've not really settled on a brand. I don't mind. I'm going to have a look around. I'd love to support a local, little, small company rather than the big, massive conglomerate that Hobonichi is. Hobonichi hasn't done the very best with its paper this year. I love this look, Just Scribbles layout. But when I went to order one of hers online, the shipping for me was more than the journal, and I refused to pay more on shipping than for a journal. Sterling ink is so expensive. I love the look of them. I would love to try one. I love that it started out as a small company, just like Linda from Rosy Life Planner, so I'd like to give hers a try. But again, the cost to get it shipped to the UK is phenomenal, and I'm not willing to do that again, like I've said, when you can get planners that do similar or the same. There's also another one called like Nisha Fernando, I think. She does one. She's very, very small again. So I would just urge you to have a look around. Try these little local companies in your country, in your area. Don't be swayed by, oh, everybody's got a Hobonichi. Yeah, they do. A lot of people are complaining about the paper, about the colour and this, that and the other. You do you. Don't be, what do they say? I can't think. I'm having a menopause moment. Don't be a sheep. You know, don't just follow everyone else. It doesn't matter. If you're like looking for inspiration on online, inspiration that somebody does in A5 will work in a B6. Things that vice versa, you know, just because you haven't got the sterling ink or the Hobonichi doesn't mean you can't do any of this stuff in there. It will work in any of those, you know, just because you've got a Kimball and you haven't got a Weeks. Unless you're in the planner community, nobody is going to know or care if this is a Kimball or a Weeks. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to care. There's only you that knows that this is not a Weeks. And I don't think you can tell that this is not a Weeks. If you told somebody that this was a Weeks special edition cover, you would believe them. It is exactly the same as a Weeks. It is a total rip-off, as they say, of the Hobonichi. But on all planners, they've taken ideas from other planners that they've seen and copied them and tweaked them. Well, that's what Kimball have done. So yeah, rant over. That's my Techo Kayagi for the second half of this year. I will stay in this. I am going to have a whole book. I wanted to try a whole book. That's in my choose, so I need to stick with it. I will be keeping that for my work, chuck it around my bag business, and when I keep changing my shifts and stuff. And I am going to be repeating whatever it is in this so that I can trial for a good 6 months this size. I'm saying all this, and I know that planner season starts properly at the end of like August, September time, so I need to know before then. But I will have a couple of months at least in this one at least to know what I'm gonna do going forward. And I am going to decide by the end of August about this business and what I'm doing with all these, because again, if I'm getting it down to one where I'm not decorating and one of these, I don't need 4 kits or 5 kits every month. Why? I'm gonna have surplus kits for years on end. I like that I have a choice this time, so sometimes I might not be feeling the kit that comes through the post. I do like having more than one. But I do have to say, if I'm being completely honest, when I just had the Rosy Life Planner kit and I didn't have any others, it didn't make me sad. It would come, I'd go, oh, this is so beautiful this month, and I'd open up my journal and just stick her away, happy as Larry. I didn't have any decisions to make. It was beautiful. It was never like, oh my God, this is ugly, or oh my God, I hate this, I don't want to use it, and put it in my planner. It was always beautiful, always stunning, and I was never sad about using it. And I think I want to get back to that simplicity, that it's gone too far the other way, like it did when I was bullet journaling, and it was all about, you know, the pens and the paper and, oh, have you got an Archman olive? And who knows? Nobody knows. And I think we really do get suckered into lots. I've seen lots of people talk about it when it comes to online kind of influence. I don't want my channel is not meant to be influence. It is meant to be, I know when I was looking for like planners, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to look at. I didn't know what to do. I'd never heard of these planners. I'd never heard of stickers, and I was like, oh, I'd love stickers. It saves me having to draw everything out like I was doing in my bullet journal. I loved that for the years that I did it, but now I don't want to do that. But I'm still getting the prettiness and the creativity, but via stickers, and that was a whole new world that I didn't know about. And it was only by watching other people on YouTube and stuff that I was like, oh, I've never heard of Harriet Wright Designs. I've never heard of Rosy Life Planner or Graceful Muse Paperie, and it was by other people doing videos like mine that I found these different people to try, which I'm so thankful for. It's made such a difference. It really, really has helped with the big move and my mental health, being able to enjoy my planners and get everything out and stuff. However, I do feel like I've been suckered in again, and I need all of the subscription kits. And the same with my books. I read an awful lot, but I've done a couple of videos recently where you can get a lot of these very popular books that are being thrown around on TikTok, you can get them from discount booksellers like Books to Go, Books to Door, I think, or Amazon. Yeah, I've gone off Amazon just because of the way they're running Amazon. So I will order things off Amazon, but only if I have to. The Works and things like that. Yes, I am not gonna lie, I also get Fairy Loot. That is something I enjoy. That is my passion. I love pushing myself to read different authors, or surprising myself by picking up a book I never would have read, and having that beautiful book to display. I do reread books. I am somebody who rereads books over and over. I am somebody who really looks after their books. So me getting a special edition copy, it's going to get taken care of and looked after. If you're read it once, throw it away, paperback, kind of dog-earing it and stuff like that, then that's wonderful. You do you. You just get the books you want. Get it from the library. Get it when it's secondhand. Get it from a cheap bookstore when it's in paperback form. That's fab. Sorry about that, guys, and someone at the door. Right, so I'm going to leave that there anyway. I've done my review of I've shown you the unboxing of the Graceful Muse Paperie July edition, and I've done my Techo Kayagi for the middle of the year. So I hope you liked this video. Please leave any comments below. I love listening and talking to you all, and seeing what you're thinking. And I shall see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.